When it comes to WWE 2K20, there's a lot of things that I want to forget. And one of those came before the game even came out. And that was WWE Games announcing the ratings for Sasha Banks. And that was an 80. Oh, did you end up forgetting about that? I'm sorry I had to remind you of it. Nonetheless, this is something that I definitely don't want to see in WWE 2K22. And before they start revealing these rating overall for superstars, on this video, I'm going to be predicting the top 8 overall ratings in WWE 2K22 roster. Before we get into it, make sure that you guys ring that bell, turn on those notifications to not miss any of the coverage and all the latest WWE 2K22 news. And of course, if you want even more WWE 2K videos, consider checking out the second channel. Click on the top right, you won't regret it. Before running down this list, just keep in mind that we are talking about current superstars that are active in the roster. So yes, of course, The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, they probably gonna be really high up there, but that's gonna be on the Legends section. Regardless though, we are starting off with someone who might even be higher than all of them. And that is the Big Dog, the Tribal Chief, the best of the best, which I think is also one of his nicknames. Anyways, Roman Reigns. After his return, after turning heel, and after the year that this man just had, I don't think anybody else is gonna be on top. I think Roman Reigns will be the superstar with the highest overall. My prediction for Roman is a 93 overall, which is actually the highest overall that anyone got in 2K20, with The Rock and Brock Lesnar getting that rating, where Roman Reigns ended up being a 92. So he's gonna go up 1 point this year, and I will even add more, but I just don't think that WWE 2K will go higher than 93. They're usually a bit harsh when it comes to these ratings, as we've seen over the last couple of years. Maybe his cousin The Rock will stay at a 93, tying up Roman, but Roman is definitely gonna be the highest overall from the current active roster. And sure, Brock Lesnar was a 93, but with him not being on television for a year and a half now, I'm expecting 2K to lower that a bit. On second and third place, I got Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, both of them tied up with a 92 overall. Without a doubt, over the last 2 years, we have gotten the best version of Randy Orton. His promo game has gone up literally 110%. Anything that he has done over the last year or so has become the most entertaining thing to watch on Monday Night Raw, whether it is against The Fiend or Drew McIntyre and so on. Randy was an 88 on WWE 2K20, so that will be a 4 points jump to 92, and I really think he will be very deserving of it. At third place is Drew McIntyre. I mean, after defeating Brock Lesnar and winning that WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre just continues to be a top main event level player in WWE, and that's gonna continue to be the case. He was an 87 for WWE 2K20, so for 2K22, I really want him to get high up there, especially after the awesome year that he just had and after proving that he belongs on top. So I'm easily predicting that 92 overall. For number 4 is the Rated R superstar Edge. After his massive return and obviously his massive main event matches that we have gotten over the last year and a half, Edge deserves to be up there. On 2K20, he had an 89 overall. For 2K22, I'm bumping that up 2 points to 91. I will be okay if he is higher than this, but be careful, we got Randy Orton up there. We don't want him to go bonkers again and injure Edge. At number 5, I got The Fiend tied up with Edge at a 91 overall, which is a huge improvement from the 86 that he was in WWE 2K20. And The Fiend, I do feel like it's hard to predict because technically you could put him way up there, but when looking back at it, I just feel like Randy Orton deserved to be higher up because Randy ultimately got the best of a lot of these superstars. Of Edge, he got the best of The Fiend even at WrestleMania. He even burned the guy, causing The Fiend to take a 3 to 4 month off. So I think it's reasonable for Randy Orton to just be that 1 point up and The Fiend to stay at 91. And again, which is way better than an 86. Realistically speaking, The Fiend should be like a 99 overall, but with WWE's booking, clearly we gotta bring him down a bit. And last but not least, At number 6 and 7, we got another tie, and that is Bayley and Sasha Banks with a 90 overall. Sasha Banks was an 80 on 2K20. This will be a 10-point difference, and well deserving of it because she has been the main act on the women's division this past year. And to this day, I don't understand her previous rating of an 80 because yes, she left WWE after WrestleMania. She was dealing with her own stuff, so she decided to take a lot of months off. But when you look at it, she still wrestled more than Brock Lesnar that year. She still had more matches than a lot of the other female superstars that ended up being above her when it comes to the rating. So it was awkward to see her be that low. She even complained to WWE Games on social media about it. So this year, she better be up there. Maybe to make it up, make her the cover star. And as for Bayley, she was an 86 in 2K20. That would be a 4-point jump that I want to see her in 2K22. Sure, this year she ended up losing the SmackDown Women's Championship, but in 2020, she was carrying the women's division. With Ronda Rousey being out, with Becky Lynch being out, if WWE 2K21 came out last year, I feel like Bayley would have been on top right there, taking the spot of Becky and Ronda with a 90 overall. So carry all that love to this year, and Bayley should remain in that top spot, and again have the same overall as Sasha Banks, which will be the highest on the women's division. And I know Bayley technically missed at WrestleMania this year, and that was a big mistake from WWE, which they tried to correct by giving her a couple of segments on both nights. But besides that, Bayley still remains as one of the best in the women's division right now. And I left Brock Lesnar for last because he's a bit of a different situation. A part-time wrestler who, after losing at WrestleMania 36 to Drew McIntyre, we didn't get to see him for a year and a half. So trying to predict what 2K is gonna do with him, especially with his weird WWE contract, is definitely hard. Because of that time that he took off, I will probably put Brock Lesnar at a 91 overall, which trust me, I know it is low for a Brock Lesnar. But if they're gonna treat him like they ended up doing with Sasha Banks, of her taking time off and having such a low overall, I think that 90 will be good. But I also won't be surprised if he end up being tied up with Roman or with Drew at a 92 and 93. Again, definitely a hard one to predict because of Brock Lesnar's situation, because we never know full contract information about this guy. With all of that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Who else you think is gonna have one of these top ratings in the WWE 2K22 roster? If you guys enjoy or found this informative, make sure to hit the like with the bank statement and maybe a Bayley to belly too. Anyways guys, stick around for more WWE 2K22 news and coverage, and I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.